So I want to talk about coping with emotional waves. We're going to look at it from a few different angles. And first of all, in relationships, there's this shalom task force from makom shalom. It's like a group. And they say there's a healthy relationship checklist. So we're talking about coping with emotional waves. So first we have to see if this is healthy, right? So especially in relationships, right? So we have to see, first of all, if it's really healthy emotions, a healthy relationship. So Shalom Task Force from Makom Shalom has a healthy relationship checklist. And they say, first of all, I'm treated with respect. 2, I feel heard and cared for. 3, I can take time and space for myself. 4, I could change my mind. 5, I feel safe in my relationship at all times. 6, I can express my opinion even if it means disagreeing. And 7, I can set limits. 2, we talk about Mordechai shlachter. He says, some people are affable and their goodness is shown immediately. Others, it takes time to get to know them, but their benefits can be discovered. Some are sweet and some are strong. Some wither at adversity and some thrive in it. Some do a job and disappear while others do little but are always around. There's this idea of becoming attached and obsessive. But before I do that, I want to say that I missed something from the healthy relationships checklist. It says I can set limits that feel right to me. And there was also one more that said I have a separate identity with unique needs and interests. So becoming attached and obsessive. So it's triggered by someone expressing interest or a much younger person looking up to me. This is some journaling I did at that time. This was from a while ago. Feeling I'm being seen by someone who seems distant, as valuable, desirable, and special. Not remembering that the receptor for love, attention, validation, affirmation is also the emitter of the same. Some people call it lava. Love, attention, validation, affirmation. Not wanting to date, but still wanting their love, attention, validation, affirmation. That's kind of like, you could say, someone could call it, since it's egotistical, it's dishonest, could even be stealing. There's ulterior motives and predatory behavior. So ulterior motives is when we try to get something reward versus being of service, and predatory behavior is when we engage in strategies to win someone who's not appropriate for ourselves or unavailable. This could be erotic subtext or flirting. And then there was this OJR, Our Jewish Recovery book study group, and we were doing a book called The Wisdom of Not Knowing by Estelle Frankel, and I want to share about that in a moment. But before that, I want to share some coping mechanisms. So some of the coping mechanisms I compiled were journaling, taking it one day at a time or 1 minute or even 1 hour, having something to look forward to, reading, listening to music, talking with people who also have gone through it, having a job or being busy, tasks, work, right, chores, being in nature, bathing, showering, or being with friends, recognizing just how courageous it is what you're going through, and drumming, drum circle, dancing on behalf of all of that. I want to share now about, from Estelle Frankel, The Wisdom of Not Knowing, unlabeling the labeled and labeling the unlabeled. So there's something called sleep, and then there's something called rest. So that true quiet, that time with the inner voice, where you could actually hold your physical pain, feel it. It could be loud, but you really receive it. And I want to share it, because I'm doing this video before Shabbos. I'm going to wish everyone a good Shabbos. But, some people, they've done yoga. They've said, what about Shavasana? It sounds like Shabbos. So there's this multitasking and action to then moving into this overdue meditation. And it's like a not yet. Basically, there's this polarity of being pulled, this polarity of potential, which is a blessing, is being pulled toward the end. And also pulled toward the beginning, because it's like, I haven't done it yet. And then also it's been this way until now. So you sort of create a blessing. You stretch until now it's been this way. And then you could complete it. And then you say, well, it's not yet been this way. And then it could happen now. So this idea of this, and in Shabbos, we say, now something can happen and we're going to let that part go. There's this dream of that I had of trying to poop, and I was afraid it's going to smell bad, and I couldn't get privacy. I would go find everyone. I couldn't find it. And I kept having that dream, and I feel it has something to do with this, this thing I was trying to push here and put there, and something that nobody would want to deal with, like a pain or something. I don't know. And also, the idea of the morning is for action or reflection or meditation. Like, I was never really quite sure exactly, because sometimes it depended how I felt when I went to bed. And then this mirror being not the true reflection, it's flipped. And the camera, the sensor, the lens doesn't give real accuracy. And I was thinking of like the original face before I was born, I could connect to being created in like a divine image, which because you can't really ever see the real me. If I look in a mirror, if I get a picture, it's not the face I have, the original face. And then think of like God's face, like if this is the face of God that I could really see, but I can't, and no one could really see it either, because we're all looking with our faces, with our bodies. So, the voice of this face, the voice of this body, which still small voice is still God. Like in the body, let's say the pain is loud, or the information that we hear that's making us sad. And when we meet God at our death, there's this idea that Estelle Frankel talks about, which is like, oh, it was you all along. And it's like, I think of the Wizard of Oz, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, serving a unknown boss, an unknown master. And I think it's a good place to stop. I want to wish everyone a good Shabbos. And I would like to wish us that we never give up, that we make sure we stay in healthy relationships, that we can cope with our emotional waves, that we do not become attached or obsessive, that we can be of service, that we can have good company and have purpose and meaning and fulfillment as we start this new month of Sivan, where we receive the Torah, that we get our instruction that's for every single time in life, for every single purpose, for everything, and beyond good and bad, where we're on purpose, living in our purpose, in our mission, and with our passion, and that we can relax and catch up on sleep this month, whatever we need to, and we can feel loved, and we can balance in our relationships and in our solitude, and that we have enough money and in abundance and richness. We can share our gifts, and we can nurture others and be so fruitful that our blossoms and then our fruits hang and then they fall and they're enjoyed by others, of our labor, of our sacrifice, of our effort, and we feel it's all worth it. And that we let go of the labels, and also not needing to label, and also being okay with labels, and in our creativity and in our flow. Amen. Keni Ritzon. And then right after Shabbos is going to be Shavuos. I will see about making a video on Sunday. We'll have to see if that happens. In case I don't, I want to wish everyone a happy Shavuos. Inside and out, in the full capacity. But I really will try to do a video, God willing. And if I don't, that we receive the Torah in happiness and in health and in love and in oneness. And inside and out. Okay. Bye-bye.